The difference is you didn't feel like you were about to die going on there. So he had that mini trauma that for him, it was life or death.
Well, I was going to say, let's use him as an example.
Yeah.
Now. And you talk about when you do the work together. So, I mean, what do you do? How does the coaching process work? And, how long does it take? And, what kind of results would he expect at the end of it?
Yeah, I love that question. So basically, the way that it happens is we go through an example. So we go through his trigger there and then. So we sit him down and say, right, they've asked you to go on this, speak at this global conference. And he's like, yeah, I'm just like so nervous. So then I will work with him and be like, okay, where in your body do you feel it? He'll say, I feel it in my throat. I feel it in my chest. So we go through it. We kind of, it's not so much hypnosis, but we'll do some kind of regression work. So we'll have a look and see like, okay, so feel into that. And then we go back and say, when's the first time you ever felt that? And the memory just came to him. And he said, I was standing in front of the class and everyone was laughing at me. And then we talk about like, okay, in that moment, what decision did you make about yourself? It's not safe to be visible. Right. Now we know where this has come from. So that information within itself is so powerful. Like imagine he's in this role thinking, I think I'm going to resign because I'm not right for this position, rather than, oh, it's got nothing to do with me. It's just my body is remembering something, is a mini trauma. That's why I can't stand in front of a group of people. And then we start working through it. And just 3 months ago, he did a global conference in front of thousands of people.
But he was still nervous, presumably?
So what we did is we started doing small things, like do it in front of 20 people. You can talk for 20 minutes. Can you do it for half an hour? Can you do it for an hour? So it's really managing his nervous system slowly and slowly.
Would he not even do a presentation before that?
He could do a presentation, but he would like to do it over Zoom. So he didn't want to stand up. Board meetings were a big one for him, where he was being a bit too agreeable. Even though he wanted to stand up and do the presentation, he would get the MD to do it and would do it under the demise of like, I think this will be really good training for you, whatever he could. But then he felt like a fraud. So yeah, it's just completely given him his confidence back in his role.
But would you expect that cause I'm trying to think of this in my own context. Like I told you the other day, I did a talk on Saturday, and I've talked before, don't do loads and loads, but even though it's something I've done before, I would still feel, let's say, nerves or apprehension. It's an audience who doesn't know me. It's a type of talk I've not done before, and I feel like I wake up and I can sit there before I go on, think, oh, I'm nervous. On the one hand, it would be very easy to find an excuse to cancel. In the same token, I think, well, it's more important to me not to let other people down who I've told that I'm going to do this. And, right up until that minute of walking on stage, you're still always thinking, what's my excuse to get out of this? Then you start talking for 30 seconds, 45 seconds and look around the room and see that people are, oh my God, these people are listening to me. These people are taking notes about what I'm saying. Therefore, call it an ego play, whatever you want to say at that point. Then all of a sudden, it's shifting. I'm thinking, I don't want to stop after an hour. I want to keep talking for 5 hours because now I've gone from nervous to having my ego fueled. Yeah.
The difference is you didn't feel like you were about to die going on there. So he had that mini trauma that for him, it was life or death. It was like, I cannot go up and speak because I feel like I'm going to die. So he just would not do it. So, for you, it's like the fear and excitement are the same in our body and emotion. So fear and excitement can really, it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited, but I'm excited, but I'm fearful. And yes, your brain will tell you don't do that and all of that. So that I don't think for you was like a, you've got a trauma about it or something like that, because he had a full body fear, life or death. Something's going to happen to me if I get up and speak.